It started as a string of unsolved murders that haunted the Bay Area for nearly a decade. From Oakland's shadowed streets to the quiet corners of nearby cities, 31 lives were taken, and for years, no one had answers. 24 of those killings happened in Oakland alone, a city already weighed down by violence and silence. But after 9 long years, the silence finally broke. In a sweeping operation led by the Oakland Police Department, with the FBI, U.S. Marshals, and the Alameda County Sheriff's Office all joining forces, 8 men were taken into custody. Federal authorities say these men weren't just random suspects. They were alleged members of Oakland-based Sureño street gangs, tied together by a web of violence, drugs, and weapons. The charges are heavy: racketeering conspiracy, multiple murders, attempted murders, and trafficking in both firearms and narcotics. What began as a cold case has now erupted into one of the largest gang takedowns in recent Bay Area history. 9 suspects in total have been federally indicted. 2 were already behind bars when the operation began, and 2 more remain on the run, fugitives from justice as the city waits to see how far this case will reach. Meanwhile, far from California's crime corridors, South Dakota quietly reported a grim statistic of its own: 31 homicides statewide in 2024, nearly double the 18 recorded just a year earlier. Different worlds, same deadly climb. From Oakland streets to South Dakota's plains, the numbers tell a chilling truth. The violence may be scattered, but the bloodshed feels connected, part of a larger storm spreading across America's map.
I'm Assistant Chief James Beer. I want to start by recognizing the outstanding work of the women and men of the Oakland Police Department. Our officers have worked tirelessly to identify and arrest members of 2 Sureño gangs believed to be responsible for 34 homicides across the Bay Area, including 24 here in Oakland. This group was highly active, engaging in robberies, narcotics trafficking, firearms trafficking, to include assaults as well as other shootings. The investigation is still ongoing, but it's been going on for several years now. Started in December 2016, all the way through to November 2023. In addition to the 24 Oakland homicides, we believe that they're connected to multiple shootings that have occurred since November of 2023. Yesterday, Oakland police officers working alongside Alameda County Sheriff's Office, the FBI, and the U.S. Marshals served 10 search warrants. 8 locations were in Oakland, 1 in Modesto, and 1 in Stockton. The coordinated operations led to the arrest of 8 suspects. In total, we identified 12 suspects connected to these crimes. 8 were arrested yesterday. 2 were previously taken into custody. 2 remain outstanding, and we continue our efforts into locating them and arresting them and bringing them to justice. We are grateful for the U.S. Attorney's Office, which has federally charged 9 of the suspects. 3 additional suspects are facing state charges. During the course of the investigation yesterday, when we did our enforcement operation, we relocated 2 firearms linked to these suspects. It should be noted, though, throughout these investigations for the last several years, we've recovered dozens of firearms. I want again to thank our law enforcement partners for their collaboration and the women and men of the Oakland Police Department for their commitment to justice. Your efforts have made our community safer and continue to make it safe. With that, I'll open it up for questions.
Were there any tangible charges other than the guns that you guys are charging them as far as the crime goes?
Yes. On the state side, we're charging them for attempted murder as well as conspiracy. And then the federal charges, they released a news statement yesterday in regards to their charges.
And Chief, are there similar enforcement actions or a similar amount of violence with, let's say, the Sureño side of this all, or is it all Sureño driven?
There has been violence from both sides. I will say that this group has been very active. The violence was not just contained to the Norteños or other rival gangs. There was violence occurred between this group themselves internally as well as related groups. The shootings have been across the board throughout our community, extremely dangerous. It's put our entire community at risk. The shootings were brazen, sometimes during broad daylight, at crowded parties at night, in parks, on streets, and in homes. We've even had violence associated with this groups that have occurred within churches, as well as other like baby celebrations and things like that.
In the end, What began as a collection of unsolved murders has now unraveled into a powerful story of justice, long delayed but not denied. The Bay Area can finally exhale, even if just a little, knowing that years of tireless investigation have brought long-awaited answers to the families of the victims. But while arrests have been made and indictments filed, the fight against organized crime and senseless violence is far from over. The streets of Oakland still carry the echoes of those lost lives, serving as a reminder that behind every statistic lies a story, a name, a family, a future cut short. And as other states like South Dakota see their own numbers rise, it's clear that this is not just a local issue, but a national reckoning. Justice may have caught up with a few, but the deeper battle, the one against the roots of violence, still rages on.